Nothing quite like being late to your first day of work on a new network. That's right. This is the Voice of Atlanta. We are now part of the Inside Edge network with, Double A Anthony Alford, Eli Moon. Ryan Mosser. He's on there.
Yep.
Rob Rozicki, Peter Tellup's behind the scenes on some of it. All those different types of things. Yes, this is the Voice of Atlanta. If this is your first time ever catching the show, as people see the Inside Edge, their social channels are live right now, and you're jumping in. I'm stalling right now, Rye, so that people come in and then they actually hear about our show. This is a show that started back in 2018, November of 2018. I did this with Nick Paulus, who works at ESPN in Cleveland. We were coming out of the Ohio Media School, and they basically give you 6 months of studio time after you graduate to
cool.
to work on your stuff, put together demos, that type of thing. They gave us a little more than that. I don't think it really matters. I don't think we're getting in trouble for that because they let us do it. And then, started posting a little bit on LinkedIn about the show. Oh, connect with Peter Tellup. Oh, he's trying to build his own studio, like rent his own studio. He wants to bring video to it. A year later, we're on video on YouTube, and we're doing like a live draft show during COVID, and we're doing live reacts during Browns playoff games and doing Browns post game shows. We moved to another network, and and then it transitioned as Paulus got more busy at the radio station. Then Always Positive Jay jumped on, and we were doing the show together, and then we brought Ryan on. I don't remember when, but it's transitioned in
June of 2024.
Okay, so we're almost coming up on 2 years
Crazy.
On the show. This is a show that if you want hot takes, this ain't the show for you.
Yeah.
Sorry, like hot takes will come. They are there, but we are not going to manufacture hot takes throughout a show. That's just not what we do. We will talk realistically. If something is going well, we're going to focus on that. If it's not going well, we're going to focus on that. The Browns suck, so we're going to make sure that you want us to be positive about the Browns, just to be positive because of the offseason. That's like our Super Bowl. Not happening. We're going to be real. Good things that they do, we will talk about. Bad things these teams do, we will talk about. We will talk about our kids. We'll talk about other stuff as we go through. And of course, Ryan from he's got the podcast with talking about all the prospects lately and everything. And Commissioner Couch is coming up at 7:00, so make sure you tune in for that. Right, usually we're live at 6. I'm just gonna go technical difficulties. But we didn't really have a lot planned tonight, anyways. When we were, we didn't know when we were going to start with Inside Edge, but we thank Inside Edge and all the guys and girls for bringing us on and allowing us to spread our show to other platforms. He is Ryan Mosser. I am Kevin Arnold. I'm not going to talk about other platforms that I work on. If you know, I feel like that's disingenuous to the network that we're on right now, doing something totally separate. So, but we are brought to you by Greeny Sports Cards. Like this is a show that's been brought to you by Greeny Sports Cards. I know that they've been busy in their planning. Ryan, we probably need to. I know you're going to be going on vacation soon.
Thank God.
After their big show, which is coming up this weekend, I'm going to try to get out there. I don't know that I'll be out there on Sunday when shows are happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on the way our weekend is set up, we may have to go. We got some garage door problems, some side door problems, those types of things. We may have to go on Saturday, but definitely want to check it out. Support our partners, greenysportscards.com. We will try to reach out to them after the big show, try to get another giveaway going because we usually give away some pretty good cards. If you're in the sports card collectors, memorabilia, they're going to have plenty of stuff at this show. It's 2 different shows all in one because they partnered with Strongsville's card collectors. And so it's going to be a huge, huge show. Independence Fieldhouse, campus of Independence High School. Pretty simple to get to from all areas of Northeast Ohio. Get on out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get on out, see them. All the details, greenysportscards.com or greenyshows.com.
I saw they're having like some big guests. I'm pretty sure Katie Moon's going to be there, who we had on the podcast.
I'd love to get her back on. That's for sure.
Yeah, we should reach out definitely. Katie, especially since she's back in town, maybe have her just hop on and talk some Cleveland sports. Draft coming up, that'd be fun. So
Katie Moon, of course, an Olympic champion in the pole vault. She's a gold medalist, a silver medalist, many-time world champion. Yes, they have competitions when it's not an Olympic year. They still are competing. They don't just compete every 4 years. It's more, it's more known and spotlighted every 4 years. But Katie's going to be there. I know there's other guests, so get all the details. Screensportscards.com. Reach out to Jeremy and Steve. Great people right there. Great interview with them. If you want to go over their socials with Katie Moon last night or 2 nights ago, I think it was. And so make sure to check them out. We're here to just have some fun, talk some Cleveland sports. You want to jump some, you want to put your comments and react to stuff in the comments. We will try to see those as best as we can. We will definitely take care of the partners now. There's more partners.
Hey, yep, more is good, right?
More is always good, so we will drop those in as we go. But I wanted to start today, Rye, with your son, who is still in the competition, the voting to be like the Ranger Rick, the face of. I'm going to say it, face the Ranger Rick. I know that's not what it is, but he's really into the wildlife and stuff, and it's such a cool promotion. So let people know how they can help vote and get him higher up in the rankings.
Yeah, thanks, man. So he's in the Ranger Rick Junior Ranger competition. My 4-year-old son James. Actually, tonight is the final night of the first round. Actually, he in his group, he's actually second in his group. They're going to take the top 20. So I'm not going to guarantee he's a shoe-in, but it looks pretty good for him to go to the next round. I'm really excited, man. If you've seen in the videos I post a ton on my Twitter, at Dynasty CLE, a lot of my Facebook as well. And now we're live on my Facebook. That's new as well. So that's pretty cool. You know why we've entered him. The kid talks about animals, with the kind of passion most adults wish they had, for about anything. He'll break down ecosystems, food chains, adaptations, and he does it with this, spark that you can't coach. It's really, really cool. It's just, it's who he is. So it's on my Twitter. You can at Dynasty CLE, you can check it out. It'll be my last tweet. I'll retweet it right now. It's on my Facebook as well. You do have to have a Facebook to vote. But you do get 1 free vote per day. So please, it takes 15 seconds. They just verify that you have a Facebook, and then you're in. You can send a vote. Please do that for my son James, because it's just a really, really cool opportunity. He gets to meet Jeff Corwin, go on an adventure. Fabulous prizes. So it's really, really, really cool. So,
and if you don't know your Facebook password, find it, or just reset your password.
Yep.
So when they do ask you to verify, you can definitely get your votes counted in that. Of course, we're going to jump into the Guardians here in just a second, but I think a brand that a lot of people know here on the Inside Edge. I know you talk about a lot on probably on your show and other shows that you jump on. I mean, Fanatics. Like, I feel like I have like several things in my closet right now from Fanatics, and I didn't even know that I'd ever do a live read for them on a show. I mean, it's honestly just not a name. Like, what is Fanatics actually? It's short, like fan is short for fanatic. Like, I don't know. Like, it's right there. So, if you're loyal, you're passionate, dedicated to any of your favorite teams, especially here in Cleveland, we're honored here, and Inside Edge is honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection, and connect and partner with Fanatics, who will provide that largest collection of official sports apparel, sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, players you love. They feature a wide selection from NFL, MLB. I think I've gotten stuff for the Columbus Crew from Fanatics. So they go through all the different leagues, college as well, NCAA. It serves fans of every sport. So make sure to reach out to them, Fanatics. I know that there is a QR code. Go over to the Inside Edge Network's like social channels.
Yep.
Easy way to get there, or go to fanatics.com. That's fanatics.com, FANATICS.com. Use that QR code if you see it on the socials, and you can celebrate your teams the best way possible. Get the gear from Fanatics, and I'm sure there's plenty of stuff with the Guardians, and I have a feeling Chase DeLauder jerseys are going hot on a lot of different apparel websites that are able to sell those types of jerseys. Not sure if Fanatics has that, but Chase DeLauder gear, I'm sure there's something connected with Chase DeLauder or the Guardians on Fanatics right now, and you want to jump in on that. Heat continues to stay hot. Good double yesterday against the Royals. They're 8-5. They go 4-2 on the homestand. It's not time to overreact. I feel like some people have gone to the extreme and saying, like, well, this offense sucks. They're not going to do anything this year. Ryan, I don't need a top of the league offense to, be able to truly at least have an opportunity, is how I'll say it, to climb the mountaintop for the first time since 1940. Like, I don't think this team needs a top offense. Are they going to struggle at times? Is there going to be stretches where they go 5-8 or worse? Yeah, it's the sport of baseball. It's 162 games. We haven't even made it a month into the season yet. But I'm not gonna say that their offense does not have the ability to at least be middle of the road this year. I'm not gonna say that they will be. Like, I have no guarantees on anything. Right? Like we say it all the time on this show. We don't know what a team is until Memorial Day. Like, that's when you want your identity set. I think people just got to realize, like, have fun with it. Like, enjoy it, because if you just sit there and wait and want to see if they're going to win the division or make the playoffs, boy, oh boy, you're going to be living a lousy fandom life there.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one too. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's early. I see a lot of optimism in this team. I mean, the rotation is carrying – the team like they're a contender. I mean, I think they're already playing, October baseball in April, and Bybee, Williams, Messick, Cantillo, whatever. They're pitching like the last week of the pennant race, and it's the first week of baseball. It's a lot of fun, man. I don't know. The bullpen has been nails. I think that, you're getting stuff out of the young guys. You're even getting stuff out of Gabriel Arias after I almost pretty much destroyed him last week. And then finally, he looks like, he's got his back up against the wall and he's actually answering. And then obviously now he's out with his injury. So, we got to see obviously Martinez, looks pretty good. So, and then there's other guys looming as well. I mean, Travis Benzana, Brito obviously got, the call first. So a lot of guys for, one or two spots there. Plus Rocchio is involved too, obviously there too. So.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. I'm going to get the stuff that I know a lot of fans probably don't like out of the way first. I think it's absolutely foul, and I'm going to say that nicely. It is absolutely foul to take the time when someone gets hurt and is dealing with the hamstring injury that Arias is. And when Vogt is saying multiple times, like, he is in a lot of pain. Like, Vogt doesn't just – I know that we have a lot of people in this town, and Vogt's one of them that can say a lot without saying anything. And we'll have the manager speak and all those types of things. So when he is saying this guy is in a lot of pain and a guy that they care about, like that, he is in a lot of pain. And people are taking that to then, like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad because now Brito gets to come up, or, or Brazana had the chance to come up. Man, that guy can't play. That guy, like, taking shots at his play. Like, it's okay to criticize players. I'm not saying that the criticisms aren't warranted. He's one of the most talented players that this team has ever had, and it hasn't amounted to anything or as much on the field. It seemed like he was just starting to break out, and unfortunately the injury happens in that moment. Like, you don't see if he's going to find that consistency this year. You're going to lose something defensively by having Brito out there, but just take a step back. Somebody got hurt on your team. We don't need to celebrate it. We don't need to bash them for that's not time to look at their play. When he comes back, and if and when he comes back, I'm not saying he won't come back, but will he has a little position flexibility. Brito has that as well. So can they find a spot in there? After a couple weeks, does he look like he's starting to find that possible breakout again? Or is he not? Like, we can talk about that.
Sure.
I saw too many people, and people like tweeting at me when I was covering the games as well, Rye. Like, I said exactly what you said. Like, Arias was starting to break out. He was at least hitting in key moments. Was the batting average great? No. It was also like less than 10 games in at that point, or like right about the 10-game mark. I don't even know what percentage that is. I don't want to do the math right now. I love math, but I don't want to do the math right now. It's a very small percentage. That's not the time for it. All right? Now, that aside, wishing all the best for Gabe Arias. But Juan Brito is, it's a guy that a lot of us have wanted to see, and he dealt with injuries last year. Vogt has talked about, Rye, that he had a different look in spring training, a different confidence look to him.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was called up to replace Arias as an injury replacement, he saw even more of that in his eye. Again, defensively, it's going to take a little bit. You're going to have to deal with some errors like we saw yesterday. Again, we had, I think, 2 or 3 errors by the Guardians yesterday. One of them was on Brito. He still won 10-2, but those errors could become costly. You're going to have to deal with those from time to time, not only because he's young, but that's not as strong of a spot of his game as it is offensively. But I think this team, this organization, Rye, has needed guys that, maybe that you drop a little defensively because the team's always been known for defense and, timely scoring, playing small ball, during the Francona era and even early on with Vogt. I think it's about time you allow these kids to let them go try and fail and try and succeed. All those types of things. Maybe you sacrifice a little defense to get more offense like people are asking for. You're not always going to get everything. You have to understand that.
To be fair, I don't know if people are rooting for Arias because he was injured. I think people were just excited about the opportunity for maybe one of their favorite younger guys to come up, specifically Travis Bazzana, obviously.
And there are those people. I'm just telling
Sure.
you, like on my timeline and my feed, like we know that there's groups of there's extreme, like Fanatic is, again, fan is short for fanatic, and that's being crazy. Like there are the extremists in every group of whatever you're talking about. But like, unfortunately, I had people more like happy that he was out and they don't have to worry about him hurting this team or whatever than else. Like, so I'm talking to those people. I know it's not everybody, and right now we're kind of talking to everybody. But I'm just trying to make sure, like, who's ever listening, if that was in your mind, it's just, you want to fan that way, that's fine. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. Just here to give you advice.
Yeah.
I'm here for.
Yeah. That being said, I am excited. I mean, it sucks because it's such an extensive. I mean, they're saying 6 to 8 weeks for this, to be healed. Obviously, he's in a lot of pain, and that's a lot of time for him to be missed. I'm not sure. Am I correct? Does he have any more options? I don't think he does.
Don't think
so. Like, this is it too, like it's and it finally looked like, at the, first couple of games. I mean, I heard Matt Derry talk about, or one of the Derry brothers from the Derry Brothers podcast was talking to Ken Carmen on the 92.3 The Fan Show about how he just wishes that they would just finally pull the trigger, and that was before, he made some clutch hits. Yeah. Like you said, the batting average wasn't, anything to be proud about, but nonetheless, like I said, when he's backed into a corner, it finally looked like he was producing. He was the hero of a couple games, and then obviously now, like, he's gone for could be 2 months, could be longer, and these young guys are going to get the opportunity, and these fans are going to get super excited and super accustomed to seeing these young guys, or even hopefully even other young guys who get called up. So it's going to be a lot to juggle for Stephen Vogt and this Guardians front office to figure out what to do at this position, because I mean they're at it's a blessing that they have so many guys who are ready or almost ready, but it's also kind of a curse because you have so many guys who are ready and almost ready. So
yeah, and again, it's unfortunate when an injury happens and an injury causes an opportunity, but you can't fault a guy for taking advantage of that opportunity to then, grabbing a spot. Now, it's 162 games. Does Brito hang on to it the entire time? Is there any movement there? I think for people that think, that only want Bazzana, not Brito, I think the advantage Brito has to then stick around and keep his offense around here is he does have some positional flexibility. Bazzana does not. Right now, Bazzana does not. And he as much as people hate that Jack Caglione, who of the Royals, was brought up from the same draft, and people are trying to say that we drafted the wrong guy because Caglione was up and a couple other, I think maybe Nick Kurtz, he was in that draft too. Connor Griffith, I think, was also in that draft, who was just brought up by the Pirates. We drafted the wrong guy. These guys are already up here. I always push back on that. Now, if Bazzana didn't get the oblique injury, which he hasn't had a injury history, people just like automatically said, oh, now he's hurt. Like, he's always going to be hurt. He hasn't had injury history. Obliques hurt playing baseball. Sorry. And it was unfortunate for him and Brito to go through that. But I don't know if he'd be up here yet if he was healthy. I can't say that one way or the other because this organization was always like they were going to take their time. Look, they allowed, they waited for DeLauder to get through his medical and his injury history. Bazana's going to be up here.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. But also, outside of the injury, he kind of did move up the ranks pretty quickly. I think we were out at a captain's game when he played.
We were at his first game. Yeah.
Yeah, his first ever game. Yes. And, out of the captains. And then, like, a little while later, like, I don't even know if maybe it was by the time that season ended, he was already at Akron. Or at least jumped into Akron the very next year and, was then being quickly brought up to AAA. So, like, he has that ability. It was the right pick. But now they're going to make sure that he is fully built up before he comes up here. George Valera. I mean, imagine an outfield now of DeLauder, Kwan, Valera, and you have Angel Martinez who can fit in there and fit in the infield, and Schneemann who can fill it. Like, you have these versatile guys.
Rhys Hoskins too.
Yeah, and you have this power come with Valera. They're not going to bring him back up on his injury rehab until he is able to go full go at the major league level, and basically they want him to be an everyday type player out there in the outfield for this team.
Yeah.
He got hurt. He missed some of spring training. He's got to catch up. You're just going to have to wait. I know it sucks. We all want everything right now, but you're going to have to wait. And hopefully, knock on wood, the waiting is worth it more than it's not.
Yeah. Like I said, there's just a lot of people looking over their shoulders right now. It's an interesting time, a fun time for Guardians fans because the league looks like it's going younger. A lot of rosters are going younger, and the Guardians, I feel like they've been going younger for 20 years. So we're used to it. We're ready for it. I feel like if there's going to be a young ragtag team this year that's going to surprise a lot of people, it's going to be this team again because they've done it time and time again. So it's everyone take it a breather. We have, we, like you said, we've had 13 games total. Like it's very early in the season, 162 games. I don't know. I'm excited for where this team's going to go. So I think we'll be very, very happy going into the postseason. So
if you're trying to understand what the Guardians are doing with their prospects and like top rated guys that are right on the verge or at the major league level now, and I feel like I'm going to butcher this name because now it doesn't sound right in my head. Heimer Candelero.
Okay.
It was Tampa Bay. I forget which trade it was, but the Guardians traded him away, and he was like a top-rated prospect, and they were trying to get some guys to then to win now, and they made the trade with the Rays, and now he's hitting home runs down there for Tampa and all that kind of stuff. Like, oh man, we gave up on this guy way too quick. Well, they're also admitting they've given up on these young prospects too quickly.
Yeah.
Would I like them to sign some guys and some professional major league level hitters this offseason? Absolutely. They got Rhys Hoskins, and that was a low level, low risk, high reward type signing there for Rhys Hoskins. I would like them to sign people, but they decided to go young because they're trying to give the prospects and their young players time to develop. They're trying to find that balance. Are they overcorrecting to the extreme? Time will tell. But by not bringing Bazana up right now and Valera, like just because they're hitting down there in Columbus, they're not bringing him up after like 2 great games of hitting. That's what they're doing. They're trying to let them develop and try to make sure that when they come up here, they stay here.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not saying I agree with it. No. I'm just trying to explain what they're doing. You can have a take whether, oh man, I hate that process. Oh, I love it. Like, that's totally fine. I think before people make a decision on how they feel about the organization, the way they operate, they don't understand what they're doing, why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Now it's out there. I'll make your take,
there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of players on this team that are looking over their shoulders. We have the second highest ranking or the second ranked prospect farm system in the MLB as well. So, we have all these guys I feel like the lineup still needs it. It feels like they're one batch short somewhere in the middle, you know. I love Banzada's profile. I mean, he's a left-handed, you know, thumper, elite zone control, you know, instant, you know, top of the order presence who can fit in anywhere basically, you know. I just feel like he I'm not saying he's there yet, but the pressure is building for sure. And I mean, there's obviously a clear path now with Arias being out. And that's what I'm saying. That's what the fans are excited for. That's what I'm excited for personally. I'm not rooting for injuries. I'm not rooting for at the expense of someone else, but I'm only dealt the hand that's in front of me. And you know, Brito, like you said, defensively, he's not as strong, of course, but you know, there is versatility there. And as long as he hits, he has nothing, you know, to worry about. And Martinez is producing, Rocchio is holding its own. But like I said, he's not there yet, of course, but there is pressure building and there is a clear path. And that's what I see at least. So,
and that's the right approach to it. Like, I don't want to see injuries. Unfortunately, this is what we're dealt. Now, this is what we're getting. Now that is the right approach to it. You probably didn't see the same thing I did. I saw like a totally different approach, like more so attacking Arias and like being happy that he got hurt.
Yeah.
Rather than,
and that's wrong. You don't ever root for anyone getting hurt.
That version of it is not right. Sure. The version of, man, like I can tell he's in pain. Votes saying he's in pain. Like this is, you know, he was like looked like he was on the verge with something good gonna happen, and it was, you know, that talent was gonna finally show through. Man, he's hurt. Oh man, like all right. Then, you know, fast forward 24 hours later. All right, Juan Brito is being brought up. He'll be in the lineup. Oh, he goes 2 for 4 in his debut. Like, okay, like let's see where this goes over the next, you know, 48 weeks. And then if and when Arias is ready, what do they do then? Like answer those questions at that time. All we can do is what's in front of. Like that is, I think that's the right approach. I'll finish the baseball thing with 2 quick notes.
Okay.
Enjoy the ride. It's going to be a ride. Trust me. Baseball's a ride. Enjoy it. And I may have forgotten the other piece. Man, it was like, oh man, it was right there. It was
something about Austin Hedges hitting 400, right?
Oh my gosh!
What the heck?
What is happening?
What?
I mean, you know what type of leader he is, and
insane,
and how much this young pitching staff loves him, and like he is going to be pretty good behind the plate. But man, he's actually he's actually hitting like. I don't know. If I think
of a completely different level of contact quality this year, I mean, it's like you said, it's early, but oh my gosh, if this guy has figured it out, how to hit, you know, how to have some sort of an offense. He's already a great catcher. He's already a great game caller. He's a leader in the clubhouse. Jose Ramirez says that he's probably one of the best lead. I mean, we had Andre Knott on a year or 2 ago talking about the story of him talking about how we need him back. And that was when he was a free agent again and how they brought him back because of Jose. That's obviously an incredible advocate of what kind of leader that man is in the locker room. If this guy can get it all together, oh boy, is it going to be fun.
Yeah, just don't be an easy out, man. Just don't be an easy out. Like if an inning starts with him, like you get on base and now Rocchio gets on base. Now you're turning it over to the top of your lineup when you know Kwan's gonna, you know, I think he's hitting like 244, but he's gonna break out. Jose isn't hitting that great. People want to talk smack about Manzardo, and yeah, he is like 2 for 34, 3 for 35 now.
Yeah, it's a .086 average right now. His timing is really off.
Andre, I did talk to Andre a little bit, and he said like there's a stat now in MLB. Like they got a stat for everything. Like unlucky players in MLB. Manzardo.
I saw that.
Manzardo's first. Jose was like 4th. There was a couple other like big time hitters. I think Bobby Witt was 2nd. He just got his first extra base hit yesterday against us of the season. Like that's a really good baseball player, Bobby Witt Jr. Like the next time we see the Royals, I'm sorry, like our pitching's really good. I don't know that, you know, Bobby Witt isn't, you know, is only going to get like 1 or 2 hits over a 3-game span. Like, just be ready for that. If I think of the other quick note again, pops in my head, my brain is so fried.
It's fine, man. That's why I need a vacation.
But maybe that means I need some energy, you know? So W Energy drinks, they could always help out with that. And you can always get a deal with them. Get the promo code Inside Edge 10. That's Inside Edge 10. That's W Energy drinks. Clean, bold flavors, no jitters. I get jitters a lot with other things with caffeine and energy drinks. So energy drinks that don't give you the jitters, that's perfect, especially with a young You got 3 kids at home, right? I got one, and then hopefully more in the future. I'm not saying anything. That's not an announcement. That's
Nope.
That's just a prayer.
Yep.
We just came off of Easter.
Lord willing, that's all we're saying.
Yes, the Lord will it. But again, people are starting to talk about the W energy drink. So make sure that you you find them, you try them, you let us know how they are. All those.
You go to w.gg is their website. W.gg is a legitimate website, just so you know. Like Kevin said, use promo code Inside Edge to 10 capital I capital E.
Yep, absolutely. So capital I, capital E, all one word basically, but you do use the number 10 instead of typing it out. So Inside Edge, and over 15 flavors. So plenty of different ways to give it a shot. So make sure you reach and go to w.gg today. Looking at the Cavaliers, playoffs are on the horizon. People thought I was probably going to go Browns. I could have gone Crunch. I mean, I'm wearing the Crunch right here. They're working out, they're lifting weights. What else am I supposed to say? Like Todd Monken and some players had some media availability this week.
Miles hasn't shown up again for the 15th year in a row. Oh my gosh! Will he not get 20 sacks again?
Oh, he's supposed to be a leader. Oh my gosh! Like, give up.
Yeah.
Guess what? He's gonna produce. He's not like he has some leadership qualities, I'm sure, when he's in the building. But he's not a true leader. If they put the captain's thing on him, they put the captain's thing on him. That's their decision, not mine. Todd Monken is very straightforward. When did we find that out? Oh, wait. If you've ever listened to Todd Monken speak in the past, or if you listen to his introductory press conference, or if you listen to him at the combine, you get my gist. Like, it's the same thing right now. We could say, like, oh, what do you want at 6? Are they going to trade? Dude, I'm so... draft, like,
I'm excited for the draft, but man, I've been busting my butt for this draft. I'm tired. Whew.
Yeah,
ready for it to be over.
I'm ready for April 23rd. Now you'll be off next week, right? Yep. We got to figure out what we're gonna do with the showtime there. I guess I'm off the 23rd, but I'm not, if that makes sense. My other job has me working like 9 a.m. until I don't know. Very early morning hours, and then do the same exact thing for night 2 on Friday for the draft. So we'll try to figure something out, or maybe maybe we'll be the first show on Inside Edge to have like a big break, and then then we'll really get nailing it down after the draft. We just get brought on, and now we're
it's that time of the year. It is.
It is that time of the year, but it's the time of the year for NBA playoffs. Now Cavs beat the Hawks, who they could possibly face in round 1, coming up in a week and a half now, I think it is. Yeah, not this weekend, but the very next weekend will be Cavs playoffs. They had a big lead in the third. Well, they had a lead going into the second. Then they gave up. Quick math, I think it was they gave up 29 the first. So they had 60. It was 38. Cavs gave up 38 points in the second quarter alone.
Sounds right, yeah.
Yeah, and then they had a big third quarter themselves. Donovan Mitchell was on fire. Other guys were knocking down threes. I just don't know what it is, right? Like the fact that I'm not surprised by it. I'm not even like angry with it. I'm just kind of over it. The fact that you have it's going to be a bad analogy. I get it in today's world, but everybody uses it. I'll go foot on the gas pedal instead of foot on the they take their foot off the gas pedal so often. Like they feel like they can coast when they get up big. And in today's NBA, you can't have that mindset, because the 3-point basket, that 3-point shot, and the way guys can hit it from way beyond the arc now has become the greatest equalizer in the entire sport of basketball.
Yeah. No, I don't know, man. I'm excited for the playoffs. We'll see. I mean, it looks like they are probably going to get the 4 seed, which is what I want. They have 2 games left. Hawks tomorrow, I think, and then Wizards on the 12th. But give me Hawks first round. That sounds good to me. They did second quarter, break away there a little bit, Atlanta, but I just feel like there's got to be another level that they're taking to. Obviously, they have the injuries to worry about. They have this weight on their shoulders. I don't know, the weight of the entire city, thinks that they can't get out of the second round of the playoffs. And, if they can't do it this year with the additions of James Harden, Dennis Schroeder, Keon Ellis, they traded away Darius Garland, a young player, for, a guy who is productive and is great so far for this team, but is old and probably not going to be on this team maybe next year, if not for sure the year after that.
Doesn't play great defense.
Well, yeah. He's an incredible facilitator. He's got a lot of these other traits, and I truly think that we brought in Schroeder and Ellis to play, defense to make up for what Harden's lacking. But nonetheless, a lot of people, there's been arguments all over Twitter, all over the radio about, are we cowards for wanting not play Boston in the second round? I could care less. Like I said, I want the least path of resistance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And if that means, ducking and being a coward and taking the 4th seed and, giving ourselves a better opportunity to get past that second round, I'm all for it. I'm ready for this regular season to be over. It's honestly been exhausting. The narrative's been exhausting. Nobody really cares. It's put up or shut up time. And we're finally going to see it. So
here's the thing about that conversation about the debate. Like, we can debate it till we're blue in the face. Like, oh, they're cowards. Oh, they're not. Like, I want it this way. I want it that way. Guess what? They were going to do it no matter what. Like, our debating isn't going to change how they were going to operate. And we are it shouldn't surprise you if the team is operating that way, and with the reports being that way, it shouldn't surprise you with what we've seen. Like, as much as I do like Jared Allen and things like that, that comment that I'm not just putting on him. It was a comment that told exactly what they looked like. The lights were too bright for us.
Yeah.
Back when they played New York,
can't happen again.
But it keeps happening.
Right.
Right. Mobley's not consistent enough. When the lights lights were kind of bright last night. They were on ESPN. He had 19 rebounds and a really good game. There's other games where, maybe the lights aren't as bright or they are bright. There's no consistency. There's no, I'm at this level. I'm going to stay at this level. When I drop down, it is an anomaly. It is one-off. That is what great players do. You're going to have a bad game here and there. You're going to have a bad game in the playoffs. But I will say to those that, that say that, oh man, they want the easy route. This ain't going to be easy. Have you watched this team play? It's going to go at every round that they play in, no matter how many it is. It's probably going 6 or 7 games.
Yeah.
If the Cavs are in it. Now, again, I know they've been when they've been dropped out of the playoffs, they've been gentlemen swept, and there was never any turning around of energy or effort or anything like that. If you see that, then there's going to be a quick exit. But if they're going to win a series, they're going to win it in 6 or 7 games. That's what this team has showed us. If they do something different, then that is just icing on the cake. Do I want them to be tested by the best? Here's the other thing. If they think that they have any sort of chance, if they and they need to have this belief, whether we have it as a fan base or not, they have the feeling or the belief that they can win a championship. You're gonna have to go through Boston at some point.
Yeah.
Or, you're going to have to go through Detroit or Boston. You're going to have to go through these teams anyways. So avoiding the inevitable, I'm not going to I can't criticize it anyways, because guess what? If your plan works for you, you're leading to what you were trying to avoid anyways. It doesn't matter. You're going to have to play them.
Yeah. I think the only pushback with that is, there's an extra series in between, of wear and tear, of this, that, of continuity for the Cavs to have a relatively decent opponent, but not the Celtics in round 2 in order, I don't know. I'm excited for this team. I'm not as pessimistic as a lot of fans. I think that, you know, the Cav, especially in the last week, of course, it's the last week, you know, it's not a huge sample size, but it wasn't perfect, but I think they played mature. I mean, they looked like a team that finally understood urgency. I think they handled some business. They closed games, you know, and didn't let the standings slip away for them. You know, Mitchell and Harden, I think, are giving Cleveland something that it's never had. Two closers. Late game offense, you know, used to be a coin flip with, especially the last few years. You know, it's either Donovan Mitchell or nothing. And now, you know, now it's a menu. You can run Mitchell downhill. You know, you can let Harden, you know, manipulate switches. You can play through Mobley at you know, at the nail. It's layered in ways that past Cavs teams, I think, never really had. Of course, the defense is a problem, and will be will be a major issue if it's not addressed and fixed. But I think a lot of that's on effort. I think that, you know, obviously Jared Allen's health is, you know, still the biggest variable right now. When he's right, you know, the defense has structure. When he's not, everything becomes reactive, and you know, if going into the playoffs looks like anything this past week, you know, he looked more like himself. He was active, he was physical, he was decisive. Even Evan Mobley, yes, we've had a lot of questions about him. You know, we thought maybe he could become that Giannis player, that guy who's going to take the next step. We don't know if he is, but, you know, he somewhat is becoming quietly a little bit of an X factor. His rebounding is obviously spiked. We saw that against Atlanta. You know, he's got defensive range. He was defensive player of the year last year. His comfort as, you know, a pressure release valve are all trending upwards. I think that, you know, Donovan Mitchell even said he was shocked by Mobley's, you know, rebounding surge, you know, this week. And the bench is, I think, no longer a liability. Even Thomas Bryant, you know, carved out a role. Sam Merrill keeps hitting his timely shots. The rotation feels playable in a seven-game series, like you said. And if it is going to go seven games, you know, injuries is going to be the main factor here. But if they stay healthy, I don't know. I don't think the Cavs are going to run from the moment. You know, I feel like they're finally going to step up, man. And obviously, I'm being a little bit optimistic here, but, you know, I'm just taking the last week as an indicator, because obviously, you know, that's where the seeding's going to sit. That's, you know, that's where you see if these guys are going to give up, if Kenny Atkinson's going to bench a bunch of them and just, you know, coast in and just figure it out. But, you know, they played their butts off, you know, and they showed quite a bit. So
yeah,
I'm excited. I'm more excited just to see an answer. What is going to happen? What is going to happen? Because I'm so tired of the narrative. You know, it's the never-ending Browns talk. Basically, this regular season's been. So,
I'm definitely excited. I'm not like, I might be a little more maybe pessimistic than you are. At least, you know, like, and that comes from a more realistic place. But I'm trying to be more optimistic, because remember, I was told the regular season didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was what they did in the playoffs. So if they look completely different in the playoffs, and they, you know, they just lock in the playoffs and they look completely different, guess what? That's the only story about this team we're going to tell. The regular season will only matter and be part of the narrative if they flame out in the playoffs yet again. Well, again, we could have talked Browns. There's so many things we could have talked about. But before we get out of here, your photography company, man, you gotta talk about that, because I know you guys are partnered with Inside Edge as well.
Yeah. So my photography company, Monster Moments Photography. We are a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by myself, Ryan, and my wife, Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, we've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Our style centers around authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by our travels, we bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Our work blends experience, consistency, and genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com. That's MOSSOR, momentsphotography.com.
And of course, thank you to Inside Edge for bringing us on and like now being a part of the family. Those types of things. Got to thank Alley Rose Fragrances as well. You know, I'm not sure if the code is still the same. I know that there was a code back there in March, Inside Edge 20.
Yep.
So unlike the W Energy drinks, W.GG, Alley Rose Inside Edge 20. So make sure to reach out to them. You know,
that's at Alley Rose Fragrances.com as well.
Yes.
You can get candles, body sprays. My wife bought a candle, smells really good. Go check them out for sure.
And I don't want to make you late for your next show here on Inside Edge, but I do
Okay.
want to make sure, because I got this note from AA, Anthony Alford, this week, and this is kind of like something that I want to make sure that we highlight, because I love propping up our Northeast Ohio, like our schools, our student athletes, our, everything that they got going on in our area. Mentor High School 2026 Music Mentor Scholarship Program raffle. You can donate at go.rallyup.com/music mentors 2026. And that's all one word. So it's go.rallyup.com/music mentors 2026. Music Mentors is a non-profit booster organization, serves Mentor Public Schools and their bands at Memorial Middle School, Shore Middle School, and Mentor High School. Peter Tellup's sons Jacob has gone through Mentor High School and was in the band. Now, Joe, his other son, is going through it as well. So make sure to help out. It's near and dear to our hearts here at Inside Edge. Their organization consists of parents, teachers, students. They work together, promote music in their schools. And I'm a musician myself. I'm a drummer. I've grown up in music. I love it. I want to support it. So make sure you support as well. They support Mentor High School's Fighting Cardinal Marching Band. Oh, what a competition band that is. 175 students, Rye.
That's crazy.
175 students in that band. 100% of the proceeds from the fundraiser goes to the Music Mentor Scholarship Program, provides scholarships for band seniors, and seniors always need those scholarships going into college. So not all of us are able to get that athletic or academic scholarship full ride to schools. So these scholarships are so important. Go.rallyup.com/Music Mentors 2026. Donate there. Win cool prizes at the 2026 Music Mentor Scholarship Program raffle. Thank you so much to AA. Thank you, Ryan.
Real quick, sorry. Please, I did a call to action at the beginning of the show. Please go check out on my Twitter at DynastyCLE for my son James's Junior Ranger Rick competition. I will tweet that out right now. Please go on there. It takes a second. It's a free vote. Please go vote for him. Also, right after this, it's actually going to be 7:30 tonight. We are going to do the Commissioner's Couch Fantasy Football Podcast. We are going over our last 6 running backs. We've gone over quarterbacks, receivers, 18 receivers. There'll be 18 running backs. We will finish after this tonight, and then we will be obviously going to tight ends next week, then going into our draft special. So check us out tonight. I will be going live on where you're watching me right now. So
7:30. Make sure to check that out instead of 7 o'clock. So since we do have a couple extra moments just to close it out before we hit the top of the hour. Can you tell I work in radio by saying top of the hour? I'm the oldest 35-year-old you're ever gonna find. Green Sports Cards, got to thank them one more time.
Yep.
Steve, absolutely. Jeremy, Steve's already posting videos of them setting up at Independence. They're combining with the Strongsville card collectors. It's going to be a big show. Yes, it's a lot of cards. It's Pokemon. It's sports cards. It's all of that. But there's also memorabilia. I've told it before. I'll say it again. My wife and I got a signed Shane Bieber Road Guardians jersey, or maybe in Indians. I'm not sure which one it was, but a road jersey signed by Shane Bieber. Always going to be a legend here. Always going to be propped up here by Clevelanders whenever his career is over. I'm sure he'll be a part of a lot of those alumni things. So cool to have that. So there's plenty of stuff there. Bring your cards to try to trade. Ryan Ruiz, who co-owns the Crunch and was kind of director of sales. His kids are big on that. They bring a bunch of their Pokemon stuff and they try to trade with all these. So it's going to be going down. Plenty of space. Get out there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Go to greensportscards.com. Check it out. Get tickets. And if you get VIP, get an early entrance. Other than that, they'll be running most of the day, Saturday and Sunday. So make sure to check them out. For Ryan Mosser, everybody at the Inside Edge Network, Peter Tellup, and LPD Productions, Green Sports Cards, and all of our partners here at Inside Edge. I am Kevin Olive. I close every show by saying, and I'll explain it on another day, don't let anyone ever tell you it's just a game. We truly love you all, 3,000. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Go check out my Twitter at DynastyCLE and vote for my son James. I just retweeted it.
Vote for him and live life. All gas, no breaks, like our late, great friend Mike Allen always used to say. We'll see you next time right here on the Voice of the Land on the Inside Edge Network.